Thank you. Thank you so much. And welcome to the first Hartford City Band Summer Concert of 2021. I have to tell you, it's a real joy to see people here listening to us again because it's been about 18 months since our last public appearance. God bless you all for coming tonight. Thank you. Yeah, yay. So the Hartford City Band will be performing here each Wednesday night at 8 p.m. for the next 8 weeks until August 11th. Our band is brought to you with support from the City of Hartford. There is no admission for concerts. We just ask that you bring all your relatives and friends who appreciate good band music, and if they don't appreciate it, they will. So enjoy the evening. We wish to acknowledge also our transportation sponsor, Laufer Trucking, and the Shower Arts and Activities Center as our home base. I'm your announcer this evening. My name is Claudine McAuliffe, and I've been playing with the band for, I think, about 5 years now in the saxophone section. So I'm supposed to know what I'm doing, but it doesn't always work out that way. I'd also like you to please welcome our director for the night's concert, Mr. Zachariah Dietenberger. Thank you. So the first piece you heard tonight was the Semper Fidelis March. This was written in 1888 by the March King himself. Anybody know who that was? Yeah, John Philip Sousa. Good. Pick up your prize after the concert. This is regarded as the official march of the United States Marine Corps. It was written in response to a request by President Chester Arthur for a new piece which was meant to be associated with the president because Arthur felt that "Hail to the Chief" was undignified. Regardless of the original intentions and its eventual use for the Marine Corps, it has become one of the most famous and beloved American marches. Throughout tonight's concert, you will begin to see a theme emerge in regards to the program. Every piece we will play tonight was either composed before or around the time of our Hartford City Band's inception. This year, Hartford City Band is very proud to celebrate 140 years. And each concert throughout the summer will focus on a different era in the band's long and storied history. Although our next piece was composed well before the inception, I was supposed to memorize this, but it's 9 pages, so you understand. It is an important piece in music history, and it helped push music into the future. This was written by 1791 by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, just a few months before his death. The Magic Flute is a fairy tale opera in every sense. The opera tells the story of a hero being guided through danger at every turn towards the light by the magic flute. Along the way, he meets and falls in love with Pamina. This overture, which we will be playing tonight, was composed just 2 days before the premiere of the opera. We hope you enjoy the overture to Mozart's The Magic Flute. time of the Hartford City Band's inception, jazz was making its early beginnings in the United States. Our next piece pays homage to many of the all-time favorite jazz pieces from the early 1900s. Themes Like Old Times is a medley of tunes arranged by Warren Barker, containing Alexander's Ragtime Band by Irving Berlin, Peg of My Heart by Alfred Bryan and Fred Fisher, I Want a Girl Just Like the Girl That Married My Dear Old Dad by Will Dillon and Harry Von Tilzer, By the Light of the Silvery Moon by Ed Madden and Gus Edwards, and 12th Street Rag by Uday L. Bowman. Please enjoy this lighthearted arrangement that's sure to get your feet tapping along. Thank you so much. You have no idea what clapping means to a performer. Regarded as one of the most important composers in music history, Ludwig van Beethoven composed some of the most influential pieces of music. Our next piece, composed by Beethoven and performed first in 1810 in Vienna, Austria, was actually composed to accompany Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's play Egmont, containing 9 separate pieces, not including the overture. It's certainly one of the more intriguing pieces by Beethoven. Tonight we'll be playing the overture, which begins with a very serious tone that abruptly transitions into quicker and exciting music that makes great use of a few themes played in many different ways by many different instruments. See if you can hear these musical ideas as they move from one section to the next. Please enjoy Ludwig van Beethoven's Egmont Overture.
Oh. Good evening. Claudine has not been usurped as your announcer. I've been asked to do something special. As she mentioned, the Hartford City Band is celebrating 140 years of existence. And what we would like to do at each concert is give you a little bit of history and a little bit of fun from all the years that the band has existed. We started by writing down anecdotes, and as anything, it turned into much more. So later this summer, there will be a Hartford City Band book forthcoming, and we hope that you will enjoy it and buy many copies when it gets published. I'd like to give you the introduction. So it's going to be called We Make Music, and it's a collection of history and memories. My name is, by the way, is George Raymer. I've been playing with this band since 1964, when my father dragged me to band rehearsals whether I wanted to go or not. How do you keep a teenage boy out of trouble? So here's a couple lines from the introduction. The purpose of the book is to record an anecdotal history of events occurring in the Hartford City Band and among its members. Some serious, some silly, but is a testament to an organization that is a second family to many of us. We are a volunteer group, an eclectic mixture of personalities, occupations, and attitudes. We share a love and passion for music, for one another, and for presenting our collective musical expression to others. Now, as Claudine mentioned, we are currently talking about the first 10 or so years of this band. It's not always been known as the Hartford City Band, and there are 6 different names we had between the founding and 1990. As we go through our history, we'll tell you some of the other names. In 1880 to 1885, it was called the Old Hartford City Band, and Archie Ewing was the conductor. In 1883, it was called the Hartford City Band. Philip Conrad was the conductor. In 1888, it became known as the Hartford Fire Department Band, and most likely the nickname was the Hook and Ladder Band. 1890, it was the Wilson Park Band, under the conduction of George Mulster. The Hartford Union Band and the Hartford Juvenile Band was begun in 1895. Carl Zilch was the conductor. And then once again in 1986, it changed the name to the Marine Band, which was formerly the Juvenile Band. And Carl Zilch was the conductor. Next week, you'll hear about some more names in the new century. Now I'd like to give you a couple examples of the stories. One is kind of a band collective adventure, and the other one is a testament, I guess you could call it, to one of our more colorful members. Okay, the first one, this is the first one here I'm going to read to you, is called Anchors Away at the Wisconsin State Fair. For several years, the band had the opportunity to secure a contract to play in a parade at the Wisconsin State Fair held in West Allis. This was a marching parade. The band, as usual, set up its formation and proceeded to take its place in the usually well-organized and stately event. Parade selections at the time were mostly military marches honoring various American services. They had been rearranged by one of our group to enhance the band's performance when marching. Songs for the Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force were played in rotation while marching. In a once-in-a-lifetime confluence of circumstances, the band was playing Anchors Away while marching past one of the beer bars. Unknown to anyone, the bar was filled to overflowing with sailors on leave in uniform. Upon hearing their song played, they exited the bar, formed up around the band, singing and marching, though not necessarily in step with us. So that's a collective adventure. Here's something about one of our unique individuals, and it's called Drumstick Dropsy. Our band has seen many accomplished musicians. One of the best is Eric, who can play anything with a brass mouthpiece Usually he plays trombone and sits behind the French horns, where he engages us in merciless harassment. Eric is also the band manager, arranging equipment and players for performances. One summer, we were desperately short of drummers for parades. Eric stepped up to fill in, doing his usual competent job. He had one problem. He kept dropping his drumsticks on the street. It got to the point where we considered it bad luck for our parade performance if he didn't drop his sticks. When we had legitimate drummers back playing with us, we had them walk up to Eric and drop a drumstick in front of him for good luck. That winter, at a band gathering, we gave him a special gift. It was a pair of drumsticks held together with fishing line threaded through his uniform jacket sleeves. Much like a mother's string for a child's winter mittens. And we are happy to say he hasn't dropped a drumstick since. We are the Hartford City Band!
So George is a really tough act to follow here, but I'll do my best. Thank you, George. Our next piece once again pays tribute to the early music in the infant years of the Hartford City Band. Composed by Beth Slater Whitson and Leo Friedman, Let Me Call You Sweetheart has become one of the most recognizable early jazz tunes. Over the years, it's been recorded by such names as Bing Crosby and Fats Domino, and has appeared in over a dozen films. With an easily recognizable melody and memorable lyrics, it has an endless charm that will surely bring happiness to your soul. Please enjoy Paul Yoder's arrangement of Let Me Call You Sweetheart. We think it's just about time for another march. Thunder and Blazes, also known as Entry of the Gladiators, was composed by Julius Fuchik in 1897 and will certainly fit the bill for a march, I think. Originally titled Grand Marche Chromatique after its large use of the chromatic scale, Fuchik changed the name to reflect a personal interest in the Roman Empire. The piece was also created to display the advancements in technology for brass instruments that made playing chromatic scales faster and easier. In 1901, Carl Fischer published a version for the American Wind Band, where it quickly became a staple in circuses around the United States. So hold on to your horses and enjoy our performance of Thunder and Blazes. The Blue Danube, or by its full title, By the Beautiful Blue Danube, may very well be classical music's most famous waltz. Composed by the master of waltzes, Johann Strauss himself in 1866, its inaugural performance was actually only considered a mild success. With its instantly recognizable theme and its lively thematic changes, it's sure to make you feel the need to dance along. A traditional Viennese waltz in every sense, its use of different thematic material keeps the waltz interesting as each section passes by. Beginning with a slow prelude that highlights the eventual melody, it quickly builds into a short section that begins the waltz-like tempo. After a brief, surprised pause, the waltz begins in its full form. So now, let us transport you to Austria, with its beautiful mountains, forests, and rivers, as the Hartford City Band performs Johann Strauss's masterpiece, the Blue Danube Waltz. Thank you so much. Funiculi funicula. Perhaps it all began as a joke in 1880, as Luigi Denza was asked rather jokingly by journalist Peppino Turco to compose a piece to commemorate the opening of the first cable car, also known as a funicular in Italy, on Mount Vesuvius. Regardless of the reasons for its creation, it quickly became an immensely popular tune that sold over 1 million copies of sheet music in a single year. Over the years, it has been recorded and performed by some of the most famous names in music, like Luciano Pavarotti and Andrea Bocelli. This lighthearted arrangement by Philip J. Lang captures all of the comedic playfulness of the original piece. So without further ado, please enjoy Funiculi Funicula. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Our final piece in tonight's concert is another one of John Philip Sousa's iconic American marches. In 1889, the famous newspaper, the Washington Post, was purchased by Frank Hatton, a former Postmaster General, and Beriah Wilkins, a former congressman from Ohio. The pair requested Sousa, who was the leader of the Marine Band at the time, compose a march for the paper's essay contest award ceremony. It quickly gained a place as an accompaniment to the two-step, a late 19th century dance craze. Over the years, it has become a staple in American music and one of the most recognizable of Sousa's marches. Its popularity both here and abroad led to a British columnist dubbing Sousa the March King. Please enjoy John Philip Sousa's Washington Post March. Thank you for attending our concert this evening. Please come back again next Wednesday for another concert in the park by your Hartford City Band. Our Wednesday evening concerts begin at 8 o'clock, and please do be sure to let all your friends and relatives know and put them in the car with you when you come. The Hartford City Band is proud to have served the local community for the past 140 years and looks forward to many more performances in the future. Our Hartford City Band is a resident tenant of the Shower Arts and Activities Center. Be safe, take it easy going home, and God bless.